Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing today? Once again, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning walk. It's actually a walk today, man. You remember all the crazy weather we had, guys? All the crazy weather we had just last week. This time I could not set foot out my house with all the snow that we were having and all the power outage and everything. Now we're back to regular Houston weather. Right now it's just 48 degrees. Then we can heading up to about mid 60s. We can touch the 70s. I think the forecast have us reaching 70s today. So this is the weather we're used to in the winter time. Nice weather, so I can get back to some walking today. So for first-time listeners, this is Gregory Wiles. I usually get some exercise in the mornings, and I share my thoughts with you guys, whatever I'm inspired to talk about that day while I'm getting some exercise. So if you miss anything or you hear this for the first time and you like what you're hearing, and you got lots of stuff on YouTube that I usually post on YouTube, and you can go and check out some other stuff there. But yes, this is Gregory Wiles with his inspirational morning walk. Beautiful weather here right now. Nice sunshine and everything. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. I'm boasting on our beautiful weather we have here right now. Yes. So hope everything is well where you are there, Jillian. Hope y'all weather is as good as the Texas weather right now. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? You see, I'm back outside walking. No snow on the ground. No more snow. Just nice sunshine. Yes, guys. Okay. Today, I know the last few days we were talking about dreams, right? About dreams and your dreams. Is the spiritual intelligence, is the way where God would talk to you, and also the enemy used this. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning. How are you doing? Also, the enemy will use your dreams to come and pollute all your blessings via your dreams also. And then we did about dreaming about the dead the last time. And before I go into other different types of dreams and stuff, I want to just shed some light. Yes, Leslie, our weather's much better, much better. This is what we used to. This is the type of weather we used to in the wintertime. Yes. So I want to use another way how God would communicate to you and how the enemy too would try to communicate to you. And that is through visions. Let's talk a little bit about visions today, because you might having some visions, right? You might be right there standing among people and these flashes of stuff like your own little movies going on. You seeing things that people can't see, right? Might be among people, but they can't see what you're seeing. It's just like you got a own little movie you watching in your head, right? And a lot of people, good morning, Renita. And a lot of people, you may be afraid to tell people, or you might tell people and people say you're weird and this and that. But you're not. It's visions. It's visions. You probably having some visions, and that's the way God could be talking to you and, giving you some information. And I'm going to tell you guys, everything that God do for good, the enemy, he duplicates. It's like a copycat. He can duplicate it and use it for his evil purposes, right? So you may be having some of those visions, and you might be wondering, man, what's going on with me now? If it's the visions from God, nothing wrong with you. You have no mental health issues or anything. This is the next way that God could talk to you via visions, right? So we'll look at the vision here quickly that Ezekiel had. This vision, what Ezekiel had, right? And guys, the Bible is not just a book of nice stories, right? God used these people's lives to demonstrate his laws and his principles and everything. That's what he used these people's lives to demonstrate his laws and his principles. So when you read it, don't say, oh, it's just a good story. Get the revelation from that story and know this is stuff that he's trying to tell us, right? So let's look at this vision that Ezekiel had, right? It's from Ezekiel 8. I can read from 1 through 8. This is Ezekiel 8. I can read from 1 through 8. I'm not going to go through the whole story. I just want to really shed a little light on that vision, so to speak, right? It's saying idolatry in the temple. That's the heading, right? So it's saying the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting before me. So he's in his house, and the elders, meaning all the let's put it in our term, priests and all the big ones from the church, they were sitting there, right? They were sitting in his house, right? Sitting in my house. They were sitting in his house before me. The hands of the sovereign Lord came on me there. So he said, the hands of the sovereign Lord came on me there. I looked and I saw a figure like a man. So he's sitting right there with all these people, all the elders from the church. And he saw this figure like a man, right? They can't see this, only him can see it, right? For what appeared to be from his waist down, he was like fire. And from there up, his appearance was like brightest glowing metal. So he's sitting, he's seeing this man will come in front of him, right? You see, nobody else can see this, only him. He stretched out what looked like a hand and took me by the hair of my head. So he stretched out, took him by the hair of his head. The Spirit lifted me between the heaven. The Spirit lifted me between earth and heaven, and in a vision of God, he took me to Jerusalem. So he said this man just snatched him by his hair, right? And he took him between heaven, between earth and heaven, right? So what he's saying, this guy took his spirit. Come on, Ezekiel, let's go for a walk. Leave your body right there. Remember, you heard about this astral projection where people said the body one place and the spirit gone somewhere. That's where the enemy used this as for his evil purposes, right? And we can explain. So he took Ezekiel. Ezekiel was sitting right in front of all these people, and he took him from there. Ezekiel said, the Spirit lifted me up between earth and heaven, and in vision of God, he took me to Jerusalem. So he gone someplace else, right? He gone to Jerusalem. He said, to the entrance of the north gate of the inner court, where the idol that provoked the jealousy stood. So the background of this story here is God was trying to show Ezekiel what all these people are doing. The elders in the church, the priests, all the bishops, all of them. God was showing Ezekiel. He said, I'm going to destroy them, but I want to show you first what these people are doing. So when I call my judgment on them, you know, you not wondering why. Good morning, Tessa. Good morning, Mr. Allen. Good morning. So he said, yeah, I can take you and show you, right? So there's a vision he in, and he take him somewhere else, right? Take him to Jerusalem and showing him all the wickedness what these people doing behind the scenes, that stuff that you don't see. You see them come to church, they're preaching the word, and then right after that, they gone to the idol worship. Matter of fact, they was doing it right inside his own sanctuary, right? So he's showing Ezekiel all of this in a vision, right? So for the people who just joined, we're talking about the next way. We talk about dreams, but now we're talking about the next way how God would communicate to you, and that's via visions. You can have visions. You're sitting down among people and you seeing some things that they can't see, right? So that's what happened to Ezekiel here. So he took him to Jerusalem there, right? And then he said, the Spirit of the Lord lifted me up between earth and the heaven, and in a vision of God, he took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the north gate of the inner court, where the idol that provokes the jealousy stood. So he took him and showed him this idol that they're worshiping. Remember, God said, don't worship no other God but me, right? Take it. So they got this idol that they worshiping stood. And there before me was the glory of God of Israel, as in the vision I had seen in the plain. So he had the next vision before. So Ezekiel get a lot of visions, right? So then he said to me, Son of man, look towards the north. So I looked in the entrance north of the gates of the altar. I saw the idol of jealousy. Remember, we talk about altars, right? So they got this altar set up here, and where they're worshiping the idols, right? And then in 6, he said, and he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The utterly detestable things the Israelites are doing here, things that will drive me far away from my sanctuary, saying that they're doing all this wickedness in the sanctuary. I don't want to come here. It can drive me far away from it. This is my house, and that's what they're doing in it. But you will see things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance to the court. I looked and I saw a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, now dig into the wall. So I dug into the wall, and I saw a doorway there. I'm not going to go on more on that. Wilma Freeman, how are you doing? Thanks for watching. So, but all I want to show you that this is a vision that Ezekiel get. He's sitting right there with these people, and God took him. He said, "Man, take him by his ear and take him to Jerusalem and showing him all the detestable things that these people doing right in the church, right?" So he's saying, man, I'm going to call judgment on these people, but people don't see this what's going on behind the church walls, all these wickedness what these people are doing, right? So he said, I'm going to call judgment on them, but I want to show you first. And the point I want to get, he was sitting right there with all of these people, and God telling him in the spirit what these people are doing. Don't look at all the big robe and all of this, what they're doing here. Let me show you what they're doing before they fool you. Let me show you the things that they are doing so you don't be fooled by them. So when I call my judgment on them, you not surprised and want to know why I'm such a bad man. I'm going to show you what these people are doing. These same people that's in your house professing to be all this high and powerful in their religion, and I'm going to show you what they are doing. Let me show you what they're doing, right? And a vision he got there, right? So guys, sometimes you're getting visions, right? So don't be surprised if you getting some visions. It's not, you're not crazy, you're not out of your mind, right? You're not out of your mind. Because these people here were doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of wickedness, misleading a lot of people. And God said, okay, Ezekiel, I'm gonna unveil this covering, give you a peek as to what they're doing, right? So that's the next way you communicate to us. And I want to go into a little bit here, since we on this topic and what these people were doing, and I want to shed a quick little light on some other stuff, right? And why God was so mad, and God showed Ezekiel all these stuff what they're doing in the church. Because he's saying, let's go to Deuteronomy 18, 9 through 12. Because they got a lot of people, since you're on this subject, this not really want to focus on today, but it just come to me to shed some light on it. So got a lot of people in the church, going to church, just like a lot of these people what God showed Ezekiel here. Could be the priests, it'd be church members, big ones in the church. And as soon as they leave church, they're going to put their hands to the idol worship. They get sick. Instead of using the scriptures to pray to God for the healing, they're going to somebody to give them a bath and all these stuff and putting guard on them and all of these kind of stuff. And they're going to church. They're going to church, and they're big ones in the church. But as soon as they leave there, they're gone and put their hand to idol worship, right? God said you can't worship two gods. You cannot worship. So let's look at Deuteronomy 18, 9 through 12. And I want to shed some light on some stuff here. This is when God getting people into the promised land. This is what he's telling them, giving them some instructions when they're getting to the promised land, what to do, right? He said, when you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, be careful not to imitate the detestable customs of the nations living there, right? That's the instructions he gives to them. But when these elders going to do exactly what God tells them not to do, right? They gone and do all of these stuff. He said, don't get into the customs of these people living there. Don't get into their customs. He said, for example, never sacrifice your sons and your daughters as burnt offerings, because they had a practice what they would do. They'd throw their living babies in this fire as a sacrifice to the Molech, to the one of the gods. They would sacrifice the living children, throw them in this big fire, right? Could you imagine that? Right? So he said, don't do that. Don't sacrifice your sons and your daughters as a burnt offering. Do not let your people practice fortune telling, guys. Don't fortune telling them psychics and stuff you're going to get your palm read, to know into the future. That is detestable. That you calling curses on yourself there, right? When you're doing this, them going to all them fortune tellers, right? He said, or use sorcery, right? Sorcery is what we can call sorcery, voodoo, in the Caribbean, obio, all this stuff. He said, don't practice them kind of stuff. Don't practice them things. Or interpret omens. Or engage in witchcraft, right? He's saying don't practice these things. Do not practice these things. Or people who cast spells or function as mediums or psychics, right? You see them psychics and stuff. Because when you go to them, you trying to get information, it's true divination, right? You're trying to get information from that spirit world that's illegal. And somebody might say, man, but it's the same information I'm getting, right? It's the same information. It's just like with this vision here, with this teleporting, you might say the enemy use it, the enemy do it. So what's the difference? It's the same thing being done What's the difference? Same information I might get in, but the difference is you getting it through illegal means, right? It's like a pharmacist. A pharmacist licensed to sell drugs. They're licensed to sell drugs. They got to follow a lot of these principles and protocols. They only sell to people with a prescription and they sell this. But if I get the same drugs on the street and I'm selling it to anyone who wants it, right? It's the same drugs they're getting, right? But it's illegal. They're getting it through a illegal means. Or I got a car, same car we might have, same make, same model, doing the same things, but I buy mine and you steal yours. The same car, it's doing the same things, but you get yours through illegal means. Police would come after you, they wouldn't come after me, right? Because you get yours through illegal means. So they're saying all these psychics and fortune telling here, right? And people who calling forth spirits of the dead. Remember we talk about that, about those dreams, right? But dreaming about the dead and all that. So he's saying, so let me read through the whole thing again now. This is Deuteronomy 8, 9 through 12. He said, when you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you, be careful not to imitate the detestable customs of the nations living there. For example, never sacrifice your sons or daughters as a burnt offering. Do not let your people practice fortune telling or use sorcery or interpret omens or engage in witchcraft or cast spells or function as mediums or psychics or call forth the spirit of the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord. It is because the other nations have done these detestable things that the Lord your God will drive them out. So he's saying, that's why I'm driving these people out, right? Because this is the stuff they're doing. So they're saying, you guys do not do this and engage in this. And that's exactly what these guys, what God was showing Ezekiel in the vision. This is the things they were doing, guys, right? So be careful, because when you do these things, you are calling a lot of curses on yourself. Mr. Charlotte Prince, thank you for watching. Dion Pollard, thank you for watching. You are calling forth a lot of curses on yourselves, and that's what you don't know. That's what you don't know. You are bringing curses on yourself when you do these things, right, guys? So that's the next way how God communicates to you in visions. So if you're getting visions, guys, you're not crazy. You're not crazy, right? This is probably a way of God showing you some stuff like how we show Ezekiel right here, right? We'll get into some other type of dreams, but I want to just show you guys that this is the next way that you can get information, get your spiritual intelligence, so to speak, right? So what we'll do next week, I'm not sure which way we can go, so much information to shed, to give you guys on this subject. I'll see where we head on Wednesday. But for now, have a great, great day. And if you're getting visions, you're not crazy. It's the next way God used to communicate to us. Have a blessed day, guys. Goodbye.